What's a messed up job that many people don't want or may not even know of? I work in a chemical preservation plant in an industrial estate. Right next door is a state-run industrial laundry that services several regional hospitals, 2-3 semi-loads of laundry in and 2-3 semi-loads out every day. They employ 2 women to go through all the laundry as it comes in to check for removed limbs, fecal matter, jewelry, etc. Not too many days they don't find something. They have to check the laundry because it could clog, damage the machines. My brother is a last responder. He brings bodies to the medical examiner funeral homes. Some of the stories he tells make me wonder how that poor kid sleeps at night. The special agents that review horrific footage of child abuse, CP and other nasty stuff so they can testify in court to put the criminal away. Those guys in India that clean sewer clogs by diving into the sewers with zero protective gear and wearing nothing but shorts. There are companies that specialize in cleaning up horrific crime scenes. Legally, that is. They're hired after law enforcement has investigated. I read about a job a while ago. I think it had something to do with approving or denying inappropriate claims on social media sites. The things normal people would have to see and look at were utterly disgusting and heartbreaking, and they weren't given any preparation for it. I knew a girl who finished her degree in animal sciences and had 2 job offers. One was working with primates at a wildlife refuge. The other was working for the state euthanizing animals. The second job was $1 more an hour. She took that one. Collecting samples for breeders. As in livestock, basically help the horses and bulls to later use for in vitro. Not really messed up, but overlooked. Septic pumping. Companies that mass clean hospital hotel linens. Very dangerous job. Work in a hospital. I saw the same lady with the same rolling luggage a number of times over the years and thought it was kind of weird. Turns out she was the one who took the newborns who didn't survive to funeral homes' morgues. Now anytime I see rolling luggage at work, I wonder if there is a fetus in there. An old neighbor of mine was a picture hanging specialist contracted by many museums. He made $75K a year at the time, about $150K adjusted for inflation. In Japan, there is so much loneliness amongst the population that there are companies that let you hire a fake family or a fake spouse for a day. Even rent a girlfriend-boyfriend. My husband does pest control. It is extremely grueling work. Most people do not last. They run him ragged during the on-season. I feel like most people don't realize how hard it is. Chasing pigeons from the runway at airports. At some beef slaughterhouses there is a guy that shoots cows in the head with a pneumatic gun all day as they come to him on a big-ass conveyor. I worked at one, and the guy that did it there was killing over 2,000 cows a day, 5 days a week. 5 days of vacation a year. I work with developmentally disabled adults, and one of my old companies had 2 sides of the program: SL supported living and CP community protection. The community protection clients are typically developmentally disabled pedophiles who have offended but have been deemed mentally unfit for prison. So through our program they get to live in a house and go out and participate in the community. There are strict, rigid rules, of course, enforced by staff making barely above minimum wage. Lol. Those that worked for that company that recently got found out that their AA product was just a bunch of cheap labor bought in India, I believe. Their job was being an AA. I'm a greensperson in the film industry. I'm responsible for building and maintaining the plants and trees on a set. I did a project years ago for a guy. The project we built was this weird little building with a giant oven in it. He cremated all the animals that got put to sleep at local shelters and vets. I don't know if this qualifies as messed up, but I worked on cell phone towers for 6 years. Most people are scared of heights and it's very physically demanding. Most people are too scared to do it and don't think about it. However, without these hard-working people, none of our phones would work. My dad works at a wastewater treatment plant. Last week he got covered in raw sewage up to his neck. My dad was a master flavorist. He made artificial flavors for candy, beverages, and lots of other things. He made a lot of money during his career. I used to work for an audiologist. I did all the jobs he didn't want to do. I trimmed the hair from men's ears so that hearing aids would fit snugly again. I took apart hearing aids and cleaned wax, dead skin and bugs out of them. I cleaned and sanitized the ears before he started an exam. Cardiovascular perfusionist. Can't have open heart surgery without us, but almost no one knows we exist. I worked on a turkey farm. There were kill days and cut days. On kill days you were covered in blood and poop. New people would come and look around and walk back out. Didn't bother me. My brother-in-law is a commercial diver. Urchins, sea cucumber, gooey ducks, that kind of thing. Occasionally the city where he lives hires him to dive in the shit pits at the SEP plants. It's dry suits, full face masks, and you can't see much more than a foot in front of you. Huge money, and throws the suit away after it's done. He says there is a lot of corn down there. Crime scene remediation. A family friend works for the military as someone who identifies bodies. As in, if a group of soldiers gets blown up or something, all the salvageable body parts get boxed up and sent to her, and she matches the hands to arms to torsos, etc. to make sure each individual can be properly sent home for burial or cremation. Septic tank cleaner. They have these large augers to go in and loosen up years worth of semi-viscous shit. They then need to pump the shit into a tank. And also ensure all the pipes are clear. Potty jockey, the guys that pick up, clean and deliver portable outhouses. The janitor who has to clean the video booths in the sex shops in Times Square. Crime scene cleaning. A lot of people don't realize, when someone dies in a messy way, yeah, someone has to clean that. I know 2 people who work at funeral homes, and part of their job is to retrieve the bodies. They both have PTSD and some pretty messed up stories. Mortuary Affairs Unit of the U.S. military. They go through the personal effects of the deceased to scrub everything illicit before it gets sent back to the family. According to my Army buddy who was in that unit, that typically means removing all history of affairs prior to the spouse seeing anything, or removing active combat imagery or combat trophies. Basically, they clean everything up to make sure there's no hurt reputations. People who remove asbestos for a living. You work long hours in hot, cramped environments surrounded by airborne microscopic glass. This area of the asbestos abatement industry is dominated by immigrants because no one else wants to do it. They deserve to be paid more. Mortuary transpo. You pick up recently deceased from homes, hospice, hospital, other funeral homes, mortuary. Our drivers handle anywhere from 1 to 12 bodies in a shift. Also, not everyone fits in a disaster pouch.